Hey everyone, welcome back to Rocky Watches Movies. Today we're heading back to the early 80s for one of the most gripping and imaginative sci-fi events ever to hit television, V from 1983. This landmark miniseries had audiences glued to their screens, with its blend of alien intrigue, political tension, and unforgettable imagery. But while the visitors may have come in peace, the production behind the scenes was anything but simple. So get ready to resist, stay alert and strap in as we uncover 20 things you never knew about V. Creator Kenneth Johnson conceived the project in the early 1980s, drawing inspiration from Sinclair Lewis's 1935 novel It Can't Happen Here, which explores the rise of fascism in America through demagoguery and societal complicity. He initially adapted the story as a political thriller titled Storm Warnings, focusing on themes of prejudice, power corruption, and the steady creep of authoritarianism. Echoing historical moments such as the propaganda drives, book burnings, and the purging of dissenting voices. NBC rejected the script in 1982, regarding it as not accessible enough for a mainstream audience. They were seeking a sci-fi success that could ride the wave created by films like Star Wars and Star Trek. To gain approval, Johnson reworked the story as a science fiction alien invasion, recasting the fascist takeover as a plot by reptilian visitors who posed as benevolent saviors while secretly pursuing resource extraction and human subjugation. This preserved the original themes of collaboration, resistance, and moral decay, but framed them within genre conventions to appeal to a wider audience. This version, titled V, was approved by NBC as a two-part miniseries with a $13 million budget. The story functions as a clear Nazi allegory, even down to the visitor's emblem, which strongly echoes the swastika. Their youth auxiliary group, the so-called Friends of the Visitors, was portrayed with unmistakable similarities to the Hitler Youth, and the Visitors' broadcasts were crafted to mirror the tone and style of the Nazi-era propaganda. Kenneth Johnson's depiction of human interaction with the Visitors closely reflected accounts from occupied Europe during the Second World War, with some citizens opting for collaboration while others chose to join underground resistance movements. During the filming of the original V miniseries in late 1982, actress Dominique Dunne, cast as Robin Maxwell, was tragically murdered on the 30th of October by her ex-boyfriend, John Thomas Sweeney, who strangled her outside her West Hollywood home, causing fatal brain damage from oxygen deprivation. She died 5 days later after being removed from life support. This occurred roughly 4 weeks into production, necessitating the rescheduling and complete reshooting of Dunn's scenes with replacement actress Blair Tefkin, which extended filming by an additional week. Footage of Dunn was used for a cameo appearance in the first episode, and the series is dedicated to her memory. Kenneth Johnson left the franchise during the production of The Final Battle in 1984, amid creative disputes with NBC executives, who sought to soften the original's political depth in favour of lighter tones, more romantic subplots, and increased action to suit a weekly series format. His limited contributions to the sequel were credited pseudonymously as Lillian Weezer, reflecting his frustration with the departure from his intended focus on prejudice-driven societal collapse. For the television series, the producers were working with only half the resources that had been available for V: The Final Battle. Executive story consultant David Abramowitz explained that it was impossible to maintain the same standard of quality when working with half the money, half the shooting time, reduced special effects, fewer sets, fewer characters, and generally fewer resources across the board. The weekly series reused a significant amount of action footage from the earlier miniseries. This was particularly noticeable in the Visitor Skyfighter chase sequence in the pilot episode, where almost all the exterior shots were taken directly from the climactic scenes of the original miniseries. In the original miniseries and the final battle, the visitors' voices were altered with various post-processing techniques, including a pitch shift effect. This effect was abandoned for the weekly series, though no explanation was offered as to why the visitors now sounded like ordinary humans. Although the show had been cancelled in March 1985, the production sets were kept in storage for some time, while discussions continued about how to bring the V-saga to a proper conclusion. Options on the table included a standalone television film or a final miniseries. Several possible scenarios were considered. One was the Resistance travelling to the visitors' homeworld to prevent Diana from assassinating the leader, and an exploration of the aftermath of the peace treaty in The Return, in which a hardline US government would impose strict conditions on the visitors who chose to remain after their race had departed, forcing the Resistance to form an uneasy alliance with them. Then in 1989, J. Michael Straczynski proposed a sequel series titled V: The Next Chapter, set 5 years after the original show's ending. Ham Tyler would have been the only returning character, with the story shifting to Chicago. Pinnacle Books launched a series of novelizations in 1984 to capitalise on the miniseries' success, publishing 16 titles in the US, but only 9 in the UK. A.C. Crispin's V, a 402-page adaptation combining both miniseries, chronicled the visitors' arrival, their resource plundering, and human counter-offensives, following characters such as the scientist Julie Parrish. Subsequent original novels, including V: East Coast Crisis, depicted regional resistance efforts against the visitors, while others, like V: The Pursuit of Diana, centered on the hunt for the alien leaders. These tie-ins expanded the narrative universe with more localized plots, and were produced quickly alongside the ongoing television production. In 2008, V: The Second Generation by series creator Kenneth Johnson was published as an alternative sequel set 2 decades later. The novel focused on alien-human hybrids known as the Dregs, who grappled with divided loyalties amid renewed visitor threats and interstellar interventions. Johnson later revealed that he had been in discussions for a TV adaptation of his sequel, but Warner Brothers chose to pursue the 2009 remake series instead. The visitors' tendency to wear human skin even after humans had fully realised their reptilian nature is explained in several V novels, as a trait engineered by Diana. According to these books, the visitors had spent years living in their human disguises before arriving on Earth, and had grown to prefer their human forms over their natural state. DC Comics published an 18-issue series titled V from February 1985 to July 1986, adapting storylines from the 1983 miniseries and its 1984 sequel, V: The Final Battle, while also introducing original narratives that ran parallel to the ongoing television series. The comic featured central characters such as Resistance fighter Mike Donovan and visitor leader Diana, expanding on themes of alien infiltration and human rebellion with new conflicts, including sieges and acts of betrayal. Following the cancellation of the television series, sales declined, leading to the comic's conclusion without providing a definitive resolution to the franchise. As mentioned earlier, V was remade as a weekly television series in 2009, initially drawing strong ratings. It aired 20 episodes across 2 seasons until 2011. This series had no connection to the earlier incarnation, and once again no involvement from Johnson. By contrast, the 2009 version, starring Elizabeth Mitchell as Resistance leader Erica Evans, replaced the Sinclair Lewis-inspired themes of encroaching fascism with a much vaguer and less compelling approach. Even with late guest appearances from Mark Singer and Jane Badler, the ratings dwindled, and the show quietly disappeared, once again concluding on an unresolved cliffhanger. In January 2025, Big Finish Productions launched V UK Visitation, a series of full-cast audio dramas that faithfully adapted Kenneth Johnson's original miniseries scripts into 12 one-hour episodes across 3 volumes. Johnson served as a consultant to ensure the core allegory of the alien visitors as predatory authoritarians concealing their true intentions was preserved. The first volume, released in January 2025, updated elements to a modern UK setting, while maintaining the reptilian infiltration and human resistance storyline, deliberately avoiding the deviations Johnson had criticised in earlier adaptations. Subsequent volumes, released in August, took advantage of audio's creative flexibility to recapture the intensity of the 1980s production, without the constraints of visual effects. V attracted an estimated 33 million households in the US, capturing 40% of available television viewership and demonstrating widespread immediate appeal amid Cold War-era anxieties. The resistance symbol, a stylized V reminiscent of World War II victory signage, sparked real-world emulation, with viewers creating graffiti on urban walls and commercial merchandise such as t-shirts and stickers featuring the motif, which fans embraced as emblems of defiance. The franchise maintained a lasting cult following through dedicated fan clubs and online forums, where enthusiasts gathered virtually and at conventions to celebrate the original miniseries. The core premise of the visitors being reptilian humanoids hiding in plain sight is directly mirrored in modern conspiracy theories, popularised by David Icke, about shape-shifting reptilians controlling world events. Some modern conspiracy theorists have adopted the idea that Democrats or other political figures are disguised aliens or reptilians, directly drawing on these themes to interpret their worldview. Johnson has expressed dismay at the literal misinterpretation, receiving emails from people convinced lizards are among us, missing the allegory for real-world political manipulation. The LJN toy line for V launched in 1984 to coincide with the television series, centered mainly on a single release, the 12-inch Enemy Visitor action figure. This figure depicted a reptilian alien disguised as a human, featuring a removable mask that revealed its lizard face. It also had an extendable forked tongue activated by a back button, a red uniform, sunglasses, and an included laser weapon. A 1985 catalogue promised ambitious expansions, including Visitor Trooper and Diana figures with similar face reveal features, smaller 3.75-inch action figures, and vehicles such as shuttles. However, these plans remained at the prototype stage due to the series' declining ratings and cancellation after 1 season, leading LJN to abandon further production. A video game based on the television series was developed by Ocean Software, with Grant Harrison as the programmer. Players take on the role of Mike Donovan, tasked with infiltrating an alien mothership, destroying it, and escaping alive. The game opens in a docking bay, with objectives including spreading red dust to eliminate the alien visitors, and planting 5 bombs in strategic locations to destroy the mothership. Progressing through the game requires solving numerous puzzles to complete the mission. In 2018, Desilu Studios announced plans for V the Movie, a cinematic trilogy intended to bring Kenneth Johnson's complete original storyline to the big screen. Johnson was set to serve as writer, director, and executive producer, ensuring the adaptation remained faithful to the source material's themes of resistance against genocidal occupation. The project aimed to expand the narrative to a full epic tale, free from the limitations of television, marking the first major post-1985 revival under Johnson's direct oversight. However, development has stalled with no production updates or release dates announced, despite initial enthusiasm for restoring the series' cautionary message. And there you have it, folks. You now know a little bit more about V. If you enjoyed the video, which I presume you did as you got this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming to Rocky Watches Movies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.